there's a special calling going out around the world to what are called star seeds. Inside, when you get to the right time, the right age, and the right place, you will come to realize that you're just not part of this world. You knew from a young age that you were different from other people, that you were born with a special purpose. And everything that you would have seen in this video resonates with you to some degree, and usually at the core. You came here to help humanity. You planned this before you were ever born. You know everything you need to know. Don't let anybody in this world tell you otherwise. That's the critical point. The biggest destroyer in this world is cognitive dissonance. Your beliefs teach you one thing, but your heart and reality is telling you something else.
At bad copy. Now, when you think about it, we're tuned into an information field of certain frequencies. We decode that into a reality. If we are then moved, our dial is moved, so we're decoding something else, we just decode another completely different reality. And that's what is meant by this bad copy. So, this is an image that sums it up. I'm walking outside in the sun. You don't have to be in the sun. You just have to decode the fact you're in the freaking sun. And it's the same with this bad copy. You just decode a reality and you think it's real because it's the only one that you can perceive. So you can decode a reality of the avatar kind, and then you are fed a different information source, tuned into it, ways that I'll come to, and then you decode a different reality, what I call the archontic reality. And this, I would strongly suggest, is the fake reality that we have been decoding through what we call known human history, modern human history, and further, that we think is just a natural world. It ain't. If you can create a virtual reality simulation, then you can create an alternative to it as well, which is what the bad copy is. And you're tuned to it through something called entrainment. Entrainment is the process by which, if you have three violins and they're all plucked to the same note, therefore they are the dominant frequency, put another violin in there, either plucked to another note or not plucked to any note, and it will start vibrating in sympathy with them because they're the dominant frequency. And if you can create a dominant frequency, then you can start to entrain the human decoding system into that frequency, and suddenly you're decoding a completely different reality. And once that happens, they gotcha. If you don't realize that's what's happened, because to you, well, this is how it is, mate. This is the world, isn't it? Well, what world is it?
This is the construct. It's our loading program. We can load anything from clothing to equipment, weapons, training simulations, anything we need.
Right now, we're inside a computer program.
Is it really so hard to believe? Your clothes are different, the plugs in your arms and head are gone. Your hair has changed. Your appearance now is what we call residual self-image. It is the mental projection of your digital self.
This isn't real.
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain. What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this. Throughout human history, we have been dependent on machines to survive. Fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony. It generates more bioelectricity than a 120-volt battery at 25,000 BTUs of body heat. Combined with a form of fusion, the machines have found all the energy they could ever need.
This archontic distortion, inversion, to a computer virus, it absolutely fits A computer virus, in our terms, obviously not exactly the same, infecting human perception. So what is, like I said earlier, a computer virus? It's rogue information. It's just introducing into the original system rogue information which distorts their word again and inverts the original system. So this is what a computer virus can do. Damage files, slow the system, show messages, take control. And how a computer virus works: a virus is a small piece of software that piggybacks on real programs. The Archons do not have creative imagination. They cannot create, they can only distort what already exists. How can you describe a computer virus in better terms than that? Similar to the way a biological virus must hitch a ride on a cell, a computer virus must piggyback on top of some other program or document in order to launch. Once a computer virus is running, it can affect other programs or documents. It has piggybacked the original reality and has distorted it. And this is what is manifested as what the Gnostics called a bad copy. Now, we are taking energy sustenance from the energetic field. And we take energy from that field within the frequency band that we're vibrating to or resonating to. We can't take it outside of that band because we can't sync with it, like Radio 1 can't sync with Radio 2.
Is where you find the end to the mystery of the Great Pyramid of Egypt. The star of Enlil represented an ancient god of Sumer, Babylon, and Egypt. And this god is not alone. Enlil is accompanied by two other gods of the ancient world, Anu and Ea. These gods may seem foreign to you right now, but time will illuminate your understanding. These three gods represent the meaning of the three pyramids of Egypt, and they tell us why the Egyptians built the pyramids. The gods of the ancient world are not so ancient, because these three gods are still the gods of our world. The first god, whose name is Enlil, in time became Enlil, and Enlil became Elohim. The god Anu, which means creator or all-powerful, is today called God Almighty. And the third god was called Ea, which is pronounced Ea, and it became Yah, and Yah became Yahweh. Today, one of these stars is now named Moth Allah, as it is said to be the place where one met Allah. These three gods are the eternal gods of this earth. And when humanity was young, they came down to them and walked with them and taught them how to build and to write and to create.
So if you are a distortion and an inversion, you cannot get energetic sustenance from the natural order because you're not in that frequency band. So to get your sustenance, your energetic sustenance, you have to get it from other distorted energy which is in the frequency band that you are interacting with. And so the peoples around the world, the different cultures, etc., talk about the fact that these entities, it's a universal virtually description, feed off human energy, but not just any human energy. Low vibrational, as I would call it, human emotion. They feed off fear and anxiety and frustration and anger and conflict and war, because they are a distortion of the natural order of love, of peace and balance. And thus, these archontic inversions, energies can feed off them.
Two extreme colors of black and white merged for a short time within the church, red and yellow ones taking away their colors. Blood, earth, plague, famine, fire, water destroys. The gods making it appear to humans that they are authoring a great war. Before heaven seen clear sword and lance, that towards the left hand making great affliction.
And so it's very like in the Matrix where the machines, again, inorganic, were feeding off human energy.
Your own knowing forward. You yourself chose to be here. You are on assignment to bring memory forward and to bring the value of human existence back to the forefront of creation. You are needed. You have been in training for this assignment for lifetimes, and you did not come unprepared. All that you need to know now is inside of you, and it is your task to remember your training. This is not a lifetime when you are going to be taught new information. As we said before, this is the lifetime when you are going to remember what you already know, and we are just here to remind you of it. That is part of our assignment.
This archontic inversion, which expresses itself in multiple ways, can't sync with that. That's what it needs for its sustenance. Thus, it has manipulated the structure of our society to generate it in unbelievable abundance. All these things that we talked about earlier, all generating low vibrational human emotion. And anyone thinks that, it's kind of just some airy-fairy imagination. This was what happened to the energy field, the Earth energy field, at the time of 9/11, when there was that massive emotional explosion in in New York and Washington. We are impacting upon it. And this is just a few days ago in a newspaper. Babies smell their mother's fear to learn what to be afraid of. Mothers emit odors that teach their babies what to be afraid of, even if the fearful experience is one the baby has never been exposed to, according to this study. Even, in the frickin' womb, the new life is being prepared for a lifetime of fear. What is fear? Lunch to these people. They are feeding off all this emotion and low vibrational energy. And that's why the pressure is to create events all the time that produce more, and against going the other way that produce less. And so this scene in The Matrix was very much in line with what I'm talking about. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world built to keep us under control in order to change the human being into one of these. And on one level, that's what we are. Generators of distorted emotional energy. And you know, you talk to alternative healers and people on the true cutting edge of healing, and they'll tell you that virtually every illness is based in emotion. Because emotion creates energetic distortions, not only to be absorbed by these entities, this distortion, but also to be trapped in the body, which manifests then as disease, disharmony in the body, caused by emotion. So Carl Sagan's bamboozle is really the inversion of the natural order, which is why this world is turned on its head. Wherever you look, it's an inversion of what not just we would like it to be, but an inversion of the original reality that it replaced. And this is one reason why you get Satanists and stuff like that using inverted symbols for their symbolic language. Everything is inverted for the reasons I'm talking about. And I've used this quote before, but how much more relevant is it now from Michael Ellner? Just look at us. Everything is backwards. Everything is upside down. Doctors destroy health. Lawyers destroy justice. Universities destroy knowledge. Governments destroy freedom. The major media destroy information. And religions destroy spirituality. Inversion everywhere. And these expressions of this archontic force are genetic liars, because lying is an inversion of truth. And this archontic energetic inversion, distortion, is not in this reality in form, although it can be, as I'll come to, but it exists in a reality very close to this one. And the idea is to distort our reality more and more, so it starts to blend and combine and come together with theirs. They are seeking to turn this reality into an extension of their reality through distortion and inversion. Now, this is even Alexander. He said that when he had his massive near-death experience, the first place he went to was very unpleasant. And to me, what he described was very much like this archontic realm that I'm talking about. He said he heard the sound of rhythmic pounding that was distant yet strong, a little like a heartbeat, but darker and more mechanical, that keeps coming up. Cyborg. Like the sound of metal against metal, as if a giant subterranean blacksmith is pounding an anvil somewhere off in the far distance. Pounding so hard that the sound vibrates through the earth or the mud or wherever it is that you are. Reptilian, worm-like creatures crowded past him, he said, and sometimes rubbing against him with their smooth and spiky skins. Faces bubbled up out of the darkness and became ugly and threatening. The pounding intensified and became like the work beat for some army of troll-like underground workers. He became aware of a smell, a little like faces, a little like blood, a little like vomit, a biological smell, in other words, but of biological death, not biological life. And whatever, that fits absolutely the descriptions of these entities and this inversion. And they're seeking to bring their reality into ours by syncing their frequency.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. Have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it. If you are not one of us, you are one of them.
What are they?
Sentient programs. key software still hardwired to their system. That means that anyone we haven't unplugged is potentially an agent. Inside the Matrix, they are everyone, and they are no one. We are survived by hiding from them, by running from them. But they are the gatekeepers. They are guarding all the doors, they are holding all the keys, which means that sooner or later, someone is going to have to fight them. Yet their strength and their speed are still based in a world that is built on rules. Because of that, they will never be as strong or as fast as you can.
Their reality into ours by syncing their frequency. The Golden Age society, the way it's described, and again in the way the Avatar movie portrayed that society, was a heart society. This was the point from which they interacted with the world, the heart, which allowed them to experience reality outside the bounds of time and space. When you come from the heart, you don't do hatred. The heart doesn't hate. The heart doesn't seek to destroy. And so this inversion was about taking the point of interaction with the world from the point of love, heart, into the emotions. And how do we see now our society and how people interact with it from the level of emotional response and emotional reaction instead of here? And when that moves to that, we interact with the world here, the world dramatically changes. And so, like I said earlier, with this heart coherence with the central nervous system and the brain, once we get into this, we start to disconnect from the heart, disconnect from beyond time and space, and start to have this as the governor of our perception. And if you take it in a computer game terms, the idea is to pull us into the lowest level where this archontic force works from. Lowest level where this archontic force works from. Now, these Gnostic writings have been estimated to have been buried in that sealed jar between about 350 and 400 AD, which corresponds with the destruction of the great library of Alexandria run by Gnostic thinkers. But it's suggested that they were possibly written about 100 AD. In those documents, all that time ago, best part of 2,000 years, they say that the archons can take form, and the main forms they take are reptilian entities and those known today as Greys. The archons describe the Greys as like an unborn baby or fetus with grey skin and dark, unmoving eyes. That was nearly 2,000 years ago, and it's the same description as what we call grey entities today in the modern world. And of course, I've been saying for a long time now that behind the human networks of control is a reptilian form. But I did say a long time ago, I didn't think it ended there. I thought it went into the realms of something else, and this something else is this archontic inversion, I would suggest. So when I was talking about the reptiles, of course, I got lots of ridicule. Hey, he's mad. And my response to that has always been the same as well. This has been my feeling about what they say. Because I simply want to know what the bloody hell's going on, me. Just want to know what's going on. Whatever it is, I want to know. And if people don't like it, well, they do the other thing, that's just as good. But is it madness, or is it seeing beyond the program? Like I say, condemnation without investigation is the height of ignorance. But they say it's rubbish, but they don't investigate it.